The school hallway was silent for a moment, just a heartbeat before the sharp sound of a collar being yanked pierced the air. Heads turned, lockers lined the walls like silent witnesses, and in the middle of it all stood a quiet girl named Aisha, her books scattered to the floor, her gaze low, her hands trembling. Two boys towered over her, smirking. They didn't know they were about to make the worst mistake of their lives. Aisha had always been the quiet one, not because she was weak, but because silence was her armor. She avoided conflict, kept her head down, and tried not to draw attention. Her classmates mistook her calm for cowardice, and the bullies, they mistook her silence for surrender. For weeks now, they'd been harassing her, mocking her clothes, calling her names, pushing her in the halls. Aisha never retaliated. She believed in peace. Her father, a retired judo instructor, had always told her, power is not in hurting others. True strength is knowing when to use your strength, and when to walk away. But that day, they pushed too far as one of the boys grabbed her collar and shoved her against the locker. Something inside Aisha snapped, not with anger, but clarity. The echo of her father's voice filled her mind. She didn't think, she moved. In one swift motion, Aisha grabbed the bully's wrist, pivoted her body, and used his own momentum against him. A sickening crunch followed as he fell to the ground, screaming in pain. The second bully, stunned, lunged at her, but Aisha was faster. With a clean shoulder throw, she brought him down hard. His wrist bent the wrong way as he landed. Gasps filled the hallway. For a moment there was silence, then whispers. Students stared in disbelief, not at the bullies on the floor, but at the girl they thought was invisible. The girl who just stood there, breathing heavily, eyes focused, back straight. She wasn't shaking anymore. The principal came running. The scene was recorded, of course. Everything was nowadays, and the video went viral by the end of the day. But that wasn't the victory. The real change happened slowly, quietly, just like Aisha. Challenge 1. Self-belief. After the incident, Aisha faced a storm of attention. Some students admired her. Others were skeptical. She was called into the office, had meetings with counselors. Even the media tried to contact her, but Aisha wasn't looking for fame. Inside, she still struggled with the weight of what happened. She didn't want to hurt anyone, and now, she feared she had become the very thing she tried to avoid, someone who used violence. Her father sat with her one evening under the old neem tree in their backyard. He didn't say much, just handed her a cup of tea and said, "You defended yourself, you didn't attack. There's a difference. Never let others make you feel guilty for protecting your peace." Those words stayed with her. Challenge 2. Dealing with judgment. The bully's parents accused her of overreacting. Some teachers whispered. Rumors spread that she was dangerous, unstable. Aisha faced those days alone in the cafeteria, eyes on her food, ignoring the stares. But there were some who stood by her. A boy from her science class, Ahmed, sat with her every day, talking about astronomy and strange facts, never asking about what happened. Aisha realized something important. Not everyone would understand her journey, but that didn't mean her truth wasn't valid. She started to walk with her head high, not because the world changed, but because she had. Challenge 3. Embracing her identity. Months passed. Aisha decided to teach basic self-defense to younger students after school. Quietly, without announcements or posters. Just a few kids in the gym after classes. Word spread. More students came, boys and girls, not to fight, but to learn confidence. She didn't teach them how to break wrists. She taught them how to stand tall. One day, one of the younger girls whispered to her, "I was scared like you, but now I feel strong." That moment meant more to Aisha than any viral video. Final message. By the end of the school year, the same hallway where she once stood, terrified and alone, echoed with laughter and the soft sounds of sneakers. As kids trained together, the lockers still stood, silent, but something in the air had changed. Aisha had become more than a headline. She was a symbol, not of violence, but of quiet strength, of standing up without shouting, of fighting back when it mattered most. Because sometimes, the quietest person in the room holds the loudest power, not in their voice, but in their courage.